Asking the question, what business should I start, is an easy way to set yourself up for failure. However, I see a lot of people in my everyday life on the internet, that continue to ask this question. So I wanted to make a video to share my thoughts and provide some useful alternatives to help you in your journey of financial freedom. So most importantly, why is the question wrong? And I think the question is wrong because every business looks easy from the outside, especially for someone that's not familiar with the industry. We could take an example, like car detailing, for example. I know that's a very popular business, and even though it does work, and I even have some friends that do it as well, but the time it takes to really detail a car, for example, when you really think about the hard, laborious hours that you would put in, it may seem easy at first, but then you're going to realize that it really is work. It really is a job. And that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day, that anything that's worth paying for is typically, going to be requiring some amount of work. And I think if you're wanting to start a business because you don't like to work, I think that's the wrong mentality to have. I think everybody works in life. Everybody should work in life. Everybody should have something that they're doing to contribute to society. But the great thing is that when you do contribute to society, society's going to pay you for the work that you do. So what's a better question to ask? I think a better question to ask is, what problems can I solve? What problems are people encountering that they would, be willing to pay money to solve? For example, if you're hungry, you're willing to go to a restaurant and pay money for them to serve you food. Let's take another example, like the car detailing. Even though you could go to the store and spend, $10 on cleaning equipment to clean your car, you still might pay $100 or $200 for someone to clean your car for you. And that's because either you don't want to spend the time to detail your car, or maybe you're just not good at cleaning. Maybe you don't like cleaning. Maybe you're too busy. There's so many reasons, but the reason doesn't really matter. What matters is that you have a car that you want clean, but you don't want to clean it. So you find someone else to do it. You can make food, or you could pay someone to make it for you. So these are, the questions that I ask is, what problems can I solve? And what problems are people worth paying money to solve? So I think the most rational question that someone's going to ask is, how can I find problems that are worth solving? And I think it's actually much easier than people realize. You can look in your everyday life to find potential business ideas and the problems that you need solved in your own life. There was one person that needed help with their homework, and they didn't want to do homework. And then a business was started, from maybe a really smart kid that actually doesn't mind doing homework. And then he charges his classmates, $5 per homework assignment, So maybe you hate doing your homework, and you might even pay someone to do your homework for you. What's another thing, like waking up in the morning, how some people have problem waking up. There was an early job before alarm clocks, where it was actually a job where people would come to your house every morning and knock on your door or knock on your window and wake you up. So what kind of problems are you encountering in your life? What is something that you're willing to pay money to solve? Or if you don't want to look in your own life, another great way is to do a poll and ask somebody, or ask multiple people. And it's really easy to find people. You could find your family, or your classmates, or your friends, or your gaming community. or your neighbors, or your people that you play sports with, or your coaches, your teachers, anybody, and ask them what kind of problems do they encounter in their life. You know, how could they make their lives easier or better through a product or service? And really take the time to listen to what they have to say and see if there's any potential business ideas in there. Because I think with any problem in life is a potential business idea. So what should you do if you can't find a problem to solve? Well, if you can't find a problem worth solving, or maybe you can find a problem to solve, but you don't have the ability to solve it, well, I think the best thing to do is to not rush into anything. Don't rush into something that's not going to work, or something that might have too much competition, or something that you're just not skilled or qualified to do. In that case, it's a great opportunity to just build on your skills and, continue to live your life as normal. Life doesn't have to be rushed. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. So take the time to live life. You're going to continue to encounter problems in your life that may be potential business ideas. Like maybe you get out of the shower one morning and you just hate the fact that you have to towel yourself dry every time you get out of the shower. And you invent some sort of air cooling system that dries the body much quicker and much easier than a towel would. Anything is a potential business idea. But until you have that great business idea, you'll build on your skills and prepare yourself for when that business opportunity arises. When it comes to business, very typically, does it come forced? A lot of businesses stem from just a eureka moment of, oh, wow, why didn't I think of that sooner? And when you do think of it and when it does come to your mind, it's going to seem very, very obvious. So if the business idea doesn't seem obvious, like obvious that it'll work, then maybe it's not the right business idea. So what are some good skills to focus on as a youngster that's wanting to start a business in the future? Great question. I think every person should learn sales, because every business needs sales to survive. Because every business is going to start with some money leaving, whether that's spending money to register your business, spending money for employees, spending money for supplies, or even your time, because your time is worth something. So typically a business is always going to start out in the negative, and it's going to be through sales that, you make that money back. So I think doing sales is a great thing for people to start off doing. Great opportunity would be like doing car sales. Obviously, if you're over 18, you could do car sales. You could work at a phone store like T-Mobile or Verizon. They do sales. You could sell mattresses. You could sell anything. A great thing to do would just be going on a website like Indeed and just typing in the term salesperson and seeing what comes up. Looks like we've got a fire over here. I don't know how that happened. But even if you're not 18, you can still develop your sales skills. I remember when I was in school, it was real popular for people to sell candy. And that's a great way to learn sales. You're going to learn the cost of your product, cost of acquisition of goods, or cost of goods sold, your COGS, your COGS. You're going to learn profit and profit margins. You're going to learn expenses. You're going to learn discounting and sales. Maybe each bar of candy is $1, but if they buy 3 candy bars, maybe you only charge them $2, so they get a 3 for 2 sale. Back to the homework thing. Even though the kid is helping with homework, they still had to make a sale. You still had to sell them on the idea that, hey, I'll do your homework for you. So I think sales is a great thing to learn, but it's also a very personable skill. It requires other people. It's obviously going to require you in the transaction, but it's also going to require the person that's purchasing, your consumer. So maybe you're not a people person and maybe you don't see yourself interacting with people. You know, maybe you would be better off as like an engineer, um, which is completely fine. And there's no right or wrong skill to learn, no right or wrong job to have. Um, but if you think that you don't want to do anything personal and working with people, then maybe you'll be working with machines. Um, and you could learn how machines work in engineering. You could go into manufacturing and get a manufacturing job and understanding how warehouses work, getting a forklift certification, getting all types of certifications. Maybe you want to learn how to code. Programming is a great skill to have, especially in 2024. Everything is a computer nowadays. Everything speaks the computer language. Programming is the universal language for computers, and it's really useful to understand that language because you'll be very valuable once you learn how to code. But not only that, understanding that life is meant to be lived. Life isn't just working. So just learning yourself and understanding yourself better as a human, understanding what you really find passionate, figuring out what your purpose is in the world. There's a lot of value in that as well. What I would call interpersonal skills, being one with yourself and understanding yourself, doing soul searching. Those skills are very handy as well. Being able to hold yourself and contain yourself when you may get angry. Learning how to nurture yourself and care for yourself when you're sad. These are skills that people may not see when they look at you from an outside perspective, but it's going to help you a lot in your life. And people will like you more and appreciate you more, but they may not be able to understand exactly why. But those interpersonal skills are invaluable, and they'll help you a lot in your life. So I think most people would ask, what should I do when I'm ready to start my business? Well, my recommendation is to start easy and small, and make sure you validate your idea first. What I mean by that, by validating your idea, is by testing it. And that's what I mean by start easy and start small. So I wouldn't invest a lot of money, or you can invest your time. Time is fine, but I wouldn't invest a lot of money until you have an idea that will work. And the way to do that is, let's say you want to sell ice cream, and your goal is to have an ice cream truck or even have a ice cream restaurant one day. One person might invest in the truck or invest in a store location and then start selling the ice cream. On the other hand, you could start selling the ice cream and then get your truck or then get your store. This is a term that's called MVP, or minimum viable product. And basically what this means is, what's the minimum that I can invest to get a product worth selling and that people will actually buy? Looks like we might die here. Uh-oh. Excuse me, guys. Spare me, please. I could really use some food right now. This zombie wants me. I should have maybe built a home or something. But yeah, I would start easy and I'll start small. If you found a problem to solve and it's a problem that you can solve, start it as easy as you can. Don't invest too much money in registering your business right away, or even getting a business bank account, a website, business cards. Like, you really don't need any of that to get started. All you need is an idea and the execution. So I hope this video helped. Hoping to build out this world, maybe make a house, maybe make my own little neighborhood or village. So stay tuned. I've got more videos coming, and drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, and drop a comment and let me know what you'd like to see next. Peace.